What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew. This is Ball Hawk, Fatima LaFawn of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for joining us here today, middle of the day on Thursday. And yes, many of you know we've been talking about it since really Tuesday. The fact that there was video out there about the Detroit Lions, Marcus Davenport and Derek Barnes being hurt, almost like they were targeted, among other players, by the Arizona Cardinals. We talked about it with Kurt Steele briefly. We talked about it with a number of other content creators and the channel this week. But you know, this morning when I got off air, I received text from about 3 or 4 of you guys asking if we could bring up the video, talk about it. I do know that some other content creators have talked about it. Lions Syndicate's been on it, among others, that brought up the video to everybody's attention. But I'm going to bring it over here, and then we're going to bring Hutch Jr. on. Let's bring him on now. Hutch, how you doing?
Good, guys. What's up?
So we're going to go ahead and play this video, and then I want to hear from you guys. We'll play, 30 seconds, 40 seconds of it. We're going to talk about a couple things. The video you're about to see is the second time Marcus Davenport's elbow is targeted by the Arizona Cardinals. It is not the first time. The first time he is in significant pain, goes to the sideline. The medical staff puts a brace on him, as you can see. The white sleeve, I guess you call it, not a metal brace or anything of that sort, but sleeves it up to give him some extra layer protection. When you watch this video, you're going to see the Cardinals player take a second and much more egregious shot at that ailing elbow. And this is the second time it happens. Then we'll get into the Derek Barnes. But without further ado, let's get to the video. All right, as you guys can see, here we got the snap. We got it coming out. You can see Davenport is held by the left hand, and then the shot. I know one of you who contacted me this morning said, hey, you're into martial arts. That's a legitimate shot to the elbow. And again, he's already injured the elbow at this point. This is not the initial blow to the elbow. This is the follow-up. So you can watch it slow here. We'll get a couple different angles for you. You see the ball is hiked. Davenport comes in, braces like most defense lineman does with his left hand, and you can see the shot right on that elbow. To me, if I didn't see the first time it happened and then the video with Derek Barnes, I'd probably say, it's just an unfortunate situation. But the fact that this is the second time Davenport is getting slammed right at that elbow by the same offensive lineman, it seems like a targeted move. Hutch, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I've seen this video probably 2 or 3 times now. There's just, everyone's been talking about Kirby and his hits from last year. This right here is blatant injury. There should be some serious fines with this. And I know we're going to get into Derek Barnes, but even when I watched the Derek Barnes one, it's disgusting, man. We got players out here taking players out. It's, in Davenport, we knew the injuries, the injury things coming in, but this doesn't help his case right here. This could be career for him. He's already had several injuries. It's just that guy should be suspended. He should be fined. And Kirby's are justful. What do you expect a safety to do? Come downhill, hit a guy. He hits his knee, whatever. But that right there, like, you don't have to karate chop someone's elbow to get him off. There's so many things you can do. It just there's got to be something like. You're just seeing it now more and more in the NFL. The Saints game's another tale. That Devontae Smith hit was disgusting. It's getting to a point now where you're starting to wonder if these guys are really trying to, take out some players for whatever reason. We did have a bounty gate, so that's not a good look for Arizona. They're talking about sore losers and, the refs giving us the win and you guys are out here injuring our players. So this is just disgusting, and I think the NFL needs to step in and do something.
I agree, and I'm trying to get the video to load, and I apologize, guys. I'm having some problems with the Derek Barnes blow, but for those who haven't seen it, tight end comes up, and he launches himself he's not really even trying to make a block here, in my opinion. He just kind of launches himself at Derek Barnes' knees, basically, and he's not trying to make a tackle. He's not trying to do anything like that. He's just trying to, it appears in the video, clearly displace him, hit some flesh on the knee. And I'm going to say, my guess is if Derek Barnes didn't do some real significant damage to it, he's pretty dang lucky. If he's back in, 4 or 5 games, I'll be impressed. But again, going back to, Davenport, the video you were watching, that's the second time he's hit there. It's not the first time. It's the second time the same offensive lineman, left tackle, makes a legitimate move right at the elbow. So he comes over to the sidelines. I think he misses like 3 or 4 plays, something like that. The medical staff sleeves him up, tries to give it a little bit extra bracing for it. And then second play, he's back in. Again, not 1, 2, 3, or 4 plays. The second play he's in, the same offensive lineman, when Davenport grabs him, tries to get around. You can see it clear as day, the video, as he comes down on that already inflamed or damaged elbow. So, what's the NFL going to do? Hutch Jr., what do you think they can do about this?
I mean, what they just do with the guy from the Saints, give him a fine, I mean, that play was dirty. Just another, they're going to fine him. And I mean, that's what Paris Johnson, I think he played at Ohio State. So, it's just, if people are going to bitch about Kirby, you're going to have to take it 2 ways. You're going to have to do the same thing with this guy. I don't even remember if Kirby ended up getting fined for his hits or not. I don't believe he did. But, now we're starting to see more of it. We're starting to see, and I saw the Barnes stuff live. Like when I seen it on TV, I was like, that was a dirty hit. Like he chop blocked him, didn't even try to block him. I was like, and I seen him go out and I was like, this could be season ending. Hopefully it's not. It doesn't sound like it's going to be. Thank the Lord. Cause he's a big part of this defense, but NFL needs to start making statements with these guys. Like, hey, you're gonna have to start finding these guys and then suspending them because they're just going to keep doing it. And before you know it, I mean, there's already, I feel like the last 5 years, there's been way more injuries in the NFL than I think I've ever seen in my life, like ACLs, knee injury, elbow injuries. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, NFL needs to step up. What's the point of having a NFLPA, thing if you guys are just going to let these guys just continue to injure players? These guys sacrifice their life day in and day out on the field. We got players out there that really want to injure people, I think, to a point. And, I don't respect Arizona at all. I was hoping they were going to be a respectable team, but here we are talking 2-3 days a week after now. And they're, these videos are now telling. I mean, I didn't believe it at first, but when I seen the first one of Davenport and then I saw the second one, I was like, oh, that's a blatant cheap shot. Like you purposely injured this man.
Right.
And now Davenport literally can't play the rest of the year. So,
yeah, I'm really hoping he can come back at some point. I get he hasn't officially been ruled out, but the fact that, again, for those who are just joining, so the video we showed a few minutes ago in here, I'll, just for those, we can talk through it. For those who maybe are joining late, let me pull it back up. And again, I can't get the Barnes one to load, but the Davenport one, just to reiterate, this is the second time the same offensive lineman uses this chop move on it. The first time, Davenport goes out to the sidelines, gets sleeved up and braced. You can see Davenport on the ground, clearly holding the elbow once he's on the ground. The damage is done at that point. So to me, again, someone who's coached, and especially football, okay, it's a violent sport. It's a physical sport. Injuries do happen. But when you have the same offensive lineman do the same chop at the same ligament elbow 2 times in one game and on the same player, that to me seems like it's a targeted event. That to me looks like you got a beef with this guy and you're going at him and you are attempting to injure him. And that's where I got a problem with it as a coach or a player or whatever. Injury is going to happen. That nobody can stop that, especially in a sport like football, rugby, or whatever, boxing. But when you're intentionally trying to do some BS and trying to take out a player, their livelihood, their career, that's where I think the NFL needs to step in here and really get after Arizona, their coaching staff, the player involved, etc. I cannot get the video to load with Derek Barnes. Walk you through it. The tight end for the Cardinals, he's not trying to block him. He dives right at Barnes's knees and makes real good contact with those knees. Derek Barnes is very fortunate to not be out for the season. And again, to have this happen now, I guess you could say 3 times in one game, that's where I think the NFL needs to come in and drop the hammer on the Arizona Cardinals, their front offices, general manager, coaching staff, and the players. Yes, Kirby Joseph, I get last year people complaining about him low tackling. That's a defender trying to tackle a 6'5", 280-pound guy, and you're 6'1" if you're lucky, and you're about 200 pounds. It is not an offensive player, a tight end, diving at a defensive player to take out his knees. It is not an offensive lineman twice in one game doing a judo karate chop right on somebody's elbow to try to intentionally hurt them. That's where I think the NFL's got a real big beef with this, and they need to, like you're saying, Hutch Jr., step in. If you're the NFL, though, what do you do?
Yeah, I think the tall tale of the sign is like he has a sleeve, and you see it purposely. He chops him in the sleeve. Like there's so many things you could do. You could push him off, whatever. Like if you're getting beat, fine. But to purposely chop the guy on the part of his sleeve, and you could see Davenport's in serious pain when he goes to the ground. Like, I mean, whining or not, and if you can call it whining, people in the chat can call it whining, whatever. But that is a purposely like illegal blow to someone that's already injured. Like who knows? Maybe Davenport's out maybe 4 weeks. Maybe his injury wasn't as serious, and then maybe that last chop put him out for the rest of the year. Right. Yeah, and like I agree with you, man. There's got to be some consequences to this, or it's just going to keep happening. I mean, I think this week was the tall tale of it. You had the Barnes, you had that, but I mean, Arizona did lose a D lineman, so maybe it's karma. I never praise injuries and stuff, but that that just sucks, man. Because Davenport, I mean, his big whole MO, he can never stay healthy, and here he is now out the year, and it's not even his fault,
Right. And that's where if I'm go ahead.
Oh, and that's he's a big part of this defense, and now we're without Barnes, now we're without Davenport. Who's going to step in? Who's going to take over? So, there's just no room for it in the league, man. It's sad.
Yeah, and again, I want to reiterate, I know a number of you guys reached out to me this morning to do the video. I thought about maybe doing something when the video, finally cleared and everything. I tried to load the one again for Derek Barnes. I just can't get it to load, so I must have downloaded it incorrectly or whatever for the streaming service I use to bring it to you guys. So apologies with that, but I'm sure you guys can Google that, find it online. But to me, again, that tight end's not even trying to block him. He's trying to take him out. Again, the video with the offensive lineman for the Cards. I mean, if it happened once, you know what? I probably shrug my shoulders and say, hey, things happen in the heat of the moment or whatever, move on from it. But you do it twice to somebody and the same person, the same offensive lineman does it, that's targeting. That's you intentionally trying to ruin some dude's season, let alone career. All right, real quick, let's get over to the comments section. I see it's moving and shaking a little bit. Let's see, Jason, Superdome or bust, 100% with that, my friend. Good to see you this afternoon. Jason, Cards are sore losers. I would agree, man. And hey, nobody likes losing. You shouldn't be an athlete if you do, but at the same point, you shouldn't be trying to take out people's careers. Troy, this has been discussed over multiple platforms. I don't expect us to ever get those calls to go our way or for it to even get called. But if we do that, it will be a penalty and fine. Yeah, and if nothing else, Troy, this is where I think we could probably all agree. The NFL needs to step up and say, hey, if I can't do something during the game, so try to make sure the officials are looking for this type of stuff, then I dang near sure need to make sure it's addressed after the game, either through the front offices, the Players Association, or something like that. Let's see, Michael. Hi, Dan. Hi, Michael. How you doing? Man, fine that player now. Yeah, I'd fine and suspend him. Especially, again, it's not so much that it happened once. It's that you did it twice. That's not luck. That's not chance. That's intentional. See, Miles Margaret Players Association, best speak up. Yeah, they better get all over that. Otherwise, it's open season on everybody then. Michael, hey, Coach and Hutch Jr., what's up? Exclamation point, go Lions, back at you. See, Stephanie, and it's the second time you hit the elbow. Yeah, that's where I've got the problem with it. Clark, that's some BS. I would agree. And again, you play that team again, players remember. Even if they move on to other teams, they remember, and they sometimes, hey, self-policing, sort of like the NHL. Troy, intentional chopping someone's elbow is one of the dirtiest things I've seen in a while. Anyone who has taken any martial arts knows, it's a dirty move. Yeah, 100% with that. Agreed. And again, a couple of you reached out. One of you guys this morning is a martial artist. Pointed that out to me. And I was like, probably around halftime, do a video on it. Hookadoo, that player should be banned from the league. Yeah, something needs to happen. Definitely some sort of disciplinary. Troy, but if Kirby makes a legit tackle on someone twice his size, we see it all over the news, internet, and ESPN. The consistency in the league is terrible, and the players are suffering because of it. I would agree with that. Yeah, 100%. No doubts there. Cody, let's see. Can they report these to the league? Yeah, they probably have. The Lions probably, and they're not going to come out and make a statement about it. They've probably turned in the video to the NFL Players Association. Now, whether or not the NFLPA comes out and makes a statement on it, probably not, but they probably will. I would assume they would handle it. See, suspension is all that will affect people. I agree. You get into people's wallets, you take away their pay, people start listening. Let's see, Hookadoo, afternoon, Miles Margaret. Walt, good morning, Coach and Duke crew. Woo! And good morning to you too, Walt. Trey, that video, though, 100%. Yeah, if you've been a player, if you've been a coach, you don't like that video at all. Mike P., there is another view that I saw from the end zone that makes it look even worse. Yeah, there's probably are other views. These are the ones I had. So, again, sorry, I couldn't get the Derek Barnes one. I keep trying to click it, and it's right there. It just won't load. Let's see, Walt, Morning Hutch Jr., Bo, cheap and dirty Cardinals, 100% with that. John, I have no problem with it, and I am the homiest homer there is. He's in the trenches, and there's all kinds of hand fighting, pushing, pulling, and positioning. Injured MD should not have been in there. Yeah. And, I get you, John, as far as like if it happened once. The problem is if it happens twice in the same move, I don't know, man. At least maybe I'm being a conspiracy theorist in all fairness. Maybe I just want to look at it that way. But again, you did it once. Hey, it happens. You do it twice, though, especially when it seems like it's constantly happening to the same ligament. It's almost like a WWE moment where somebody's trying to take out the knee or whatever. I'd say, Vapor, Derek Barnes should sue that guy for lost wages because of his stupidity. That's a bold strategy. I don't know if they'll go for it, but that guy, again, the tight end, and I can't get the video to load. Sorry, guys. You can probably find it elsewhere. It looks like he's just intentionally going after Barnes' knees. The Dirty Birds, there we go. This is getting whiny. I'm out of here. Okay, sorry about that, John. I'd say Big D, what a dirty that guy. Sorry, that's BS. I joined late. That's BS. Okay, it happens, man. Nothing wrong with being late sometimes. All right, I'll do a couple more here and then get on out of here. Cody, yeah, I don't know. It's a physical sport. I don't want them to play flag football. Not saying don't penalize dirty plays, but some of the league suspensions are dumb. Okay. Big D, do you see how the stares at him after he hurts Davenport? Yeah, I do. You do see where he's staring him down. I'd like to be, as a human being, going, man, he's down on the ground. Maybe the offensive lineman's looking there in concern. Or since he's taken 2 shots of that elbow, is he trying to send a message? That I don't know. All right, Hutch Jr., you got any other thoughts on this before we get out of here?
Nope. I think we've said what we need to say, but yeah, man, just keep an eye on it. I'm just going to wonder if this goes out through the year, but like you said, teams don't forget, I hate to see, teams purposely start injuring players, but like you said, in NHL, you move like this, you better keep your head up when you're coming through that neutral zone. Cause teams like you said, don't forget, I don't think Dan Campbell's going to tell these guys to obviously purposely injure people. That's right. Never the case, but yeah, you get prayers up to Davenport. Hopefully he can come back sometime late in the year, late playoff push. But yeah, seeing those videos, man, it's just disgusting. It shouldn't be in the sport. And I know injuries are going to happen, but purposely injuring people, it's just disgusting.
Right. And again, I want to reiterate to everybody's watching, if it would have only happened once to Davenport, all right, I live with that. It's just a fluke thing. But when it happens twice, that's where, at least to me, I start going, maybe that's not so accidental. But come to you, think about it, do whatever you want. Sorry, again, I can't get the Barnes video to load, but I'm sure you guys can find it elsewhere. Other than that, Hutch Jr., give yourself a shout out. Tell everybody where to find you.
Yeah, Hutch Jr., you can find me on Twitter, the one and only Hutch Jr. Outside of that, you can find me on here, podcast on here, and then Catch My Vibe Radio. We have a radio show doing that. But outside of that, you can just catch me on other people's podcasts and stuff like that, and then obviously, thanks for having me on again. Sorry about this morning. That was my phone's. I got a new phone, so my alarms are crazy right now, so I just fixed them. So
no worries, man. So, all right, everybody. If there's some sort of breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you. I am working on one story. Won't do any tells or spoilers on it, but I'm trying to see if there's any validity to it. If there is, I'll get it over to you probably this afternoon. Take care. If you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Also, hit that thumbs up button. Be a good person. Do kind things to other people. And we'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Peace.
Happy trails to you until